Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to welcome all of you here in the auditorium of FTC to our Karachi 2001. Now I'll go to our MC President, Mr. Sarfrazul Haq, and request to declare this session open by pressing the light I have in my hands. I hope you will join me when Mr. Sarfrazul Haq declares this session open. Press the light, sir. Thank you.
कि कौन कौन सी नेमत को झुटलाओगे।
सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम।
Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my team members, we are going to enter into a new era. When I was writing to you for the annual sales conference, I requested that please come prepared. You have to join us to make this event successful. Are you with me? Does it look like? Are you with me? The event we are going to have next is one of the greatest events at the year start. We are going to enter into new era, as I just mentioned, and your enthusiasm, your excitement will endorse that we are really going to enter into new era. I again ask, are you with me? Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite a lot of people. Family members of this organization, which are the pillars of this organization, and without whom this organization doesn't have any meaning. Starting with, I invite MC President Mr. Sarfrazul Haq. Please, gentlemen, join me to welcome Sarfrazul Haq Sahab to the stage. Thank you. I can feel the breathing going up. What's going to be this time? Gentlemen, be mindful, stay awake, and see what we are going to do step by step. And I request, when we are going to complete this event, you will come to know what we are going to do. And at that moment, I again request, please show your enthusiasm, show your excitement, so that every one of us enjoy. First of all, I invite our National Sales Manager, Mr. Iftikhar Siddiqui, and Dr. Fazal Khalidi. Please come to the stage. really the same. Now, gentlemen, it's not still over. I'm honored to invite Dr. Fazal Khalidi to come to the stage. Please welcome Dr. Fazal Khalidi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Karachi 2001. The logo represents the theme of this conference, a passion for excellence. The waves are symbolic of the port city Karachi. The upward movement of the waves towards the sun depict the hard work and diligence which is so characteristic of a passion for excellence. Passionate about the way we do things, passionate in achieving excellence in whatever we choose to do. The Urdu equivalent of a passion for excellence is Jazba-e-Junoon. This is our theme song. I hope this song will inspire you to reach greater heights in 2001. Thank you and best of luck for a very successful 2001.
बिखरे ख्यालों का बेनूर जाग आओ उठा दे सारे पर्दे और गिरा दे सारे बुत आओ उम्मीद के गीत गाए
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your enthusiasm, for your excitement, but it's still not over. Pharmacia. Join me to welcome. Join me to welcome. बाहर ठीक है. Gentlemen and ladies, let me invite our MC President, Mr. Sarfrazul Haq, and he has a lot to say for the year 2001 and for Pharmacia in the coming years. Welcome, Mr. Sarfrazul Haq.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मर्दान मोमिन व ख्वातीन मोमिन It's my pleasure and the privilege to be here with you this auspicious morning. I would start my presentation and welcome address with the first slide, which shows thank you for your efforts. And in this slide, the thank you is coming from two persons. One is my predecessor, Mr. Tariq Wajid, who has communicated me, who has asked me to communicate his thanks to your cooperation which you extended to him during his stay from January 2000 to August 2000. He has also expressed his best wishes for you for the year 2001. And now let's acknowledge his efforts in absentia for whatever he has done good for the company for this period. Now it's my turn. There's a small period which is from August 21 to December 31st of 2000, but I want to acknowledge your efforts with a big clap. I'm really overwhelmed and extremely indebted to you for whatever cooperation you have extended during this period, and I would continue to look forward like the Mother Moment for the coming years we are with you. Thank you very much. In my next slide, I'm going to talk to you and share with you the milestones which we have hit during the year 2000. The number one milestone is that we have reached the 10th position in the market share ranking in the year 2000, which is by no means a big achievement. Our next milestone, you have shown Mr. Tawqir moving his eyes from right to left, and that's Zaratan, which has also achieved #1 position on a moving annual total basis in year 2000. It's also, and again, a very big achievement. And then, not to be behind, is Dr. Zulfikar and Mr. Amir Wahid's team, who have got #1 position in the cytotoxic oncology market, and let's give them a big hand also. And last but not least, we are also very good at spreading infection and also then treating it through Lincosin, which has also got the #1 position in year 2000 in the macrolide market. Now we move on to the next slide, which shows our XRD sales, which includes the sales of street business, specialty business, and we have shown a growth of 18% over last year, which is again a very significant achievement. So for this I wanted to compliment Mr. Iftikhar Siddiqui and Mr. Amir Wahid and the entire Pharmacia Upjohn team for having this performance in year 2000. We move on to the next one. Now we are going to hit and touch what are the other activities which we carried out in the year 2000. And just to mention a few, the most significant activity, as you know, that the only constant in the world is change, and this change we have effected in order to benefit ourselves, and that is the change in distribution. Previously we used to have regional distributors, but we used to have certain problems, teething problems and other major problems which were accompanied with this sort of a distribution setup. With all the advantages, but it still had some disadvantages, and the biggest disadvantage was that there was transshipment of goods from one territory to the other territory, and which resulted in a lot of demotivation into the field force, which resulted in people having become riders at the expense of other good workers. So that was the one problem which we were having this distribution setup. And second is the advantage of this would be that we would be having a fully computerized operation, which will help us in giving territory-wise sales data at the territory level, at each rep level, so that we can monitor the performance and track the performance at each rep level. And then it's also a cost-effective system. So through these advantages, we hope that we will be able to increase our sales turnover, to increase our penetration at the farthest retailer level in the whole country chain. And that is one activity which we have carried out successfully by the year end 2000. The next activity which we undertook was the ranking of the sales force. The objective was to have transparency in the achievement of each rep, so that each rep in a given territory, in a given line, is able to know the performance of all the other reps on a pan-country basis. And in this way, we are able to generate a healthy competition amongst the entire field force. And as a result of this, we would again build transparency, we would again build competition, and we would be able to reward good performers as well as develop low performers to reach the higher performance position. Then we started the panel chemist program. As you know, that this program helps you to track down the prescription of the doctor physically yourself when you visit a panel chemist, which means that you can see the prescription through your eyes what product he's prescribing, whether he's prescribing his own product or whether he's prescribing a competitor product. And in this way, you're able to direct your efforts in generating the prescription of your own products versus the competitive products. The third activity, which on this shows the fourth one, we have carried out a territory scanning exercise. What we have done is that we have gone to every nook and corner of each territory. We have added potential doctors which have not been covered before by us. And we have also been able to judge their potential, and through this exercise we will be able to have a continuing ongoing process of additions and deletions. I wanted to thank personally Mr. Iftikhar Siddiqui for having carried this exercise very professionally, and for having completed this exercise by the year end 2000. Let's give him a big hand. Then it comes to the question of promotion. Each one of us is very eager to get promoted. But once the promotion is made, there are certain heartburns also. So in order to incorporate transparency and in order to incorporate cross-functional expertise in the process of promotion, we decided to conduct promotion through assessment centers, which means that we solicit nominations from DSMs and divisional managers, and these nominations then come to the HR section after having scrutinized by the sales manager. Then the HR guy, the HR head, Mr. Ali Raza Mehdi, Dr. Iftikhar Chaudhary, myself, and the national sales manager, or the specialty manager, Mr. Amir Waheed, they have conducted interviews for selecting the right guy for the vacant slot of a DSM. We have completed this exercise only 2 or 3 days before, and I am pleased to tell you that you will be knowing the results of this exercise by Mr. Mehdi this afternoon. And I hope you would be fully satisfied with the procedure and the process which we have carried out in conducting assessment centers. Now we move on to the objectives for year 2001. Our biggest objective is to develop a pan-Pakistan mindset for a customer focus. You see, it's only through the ability of the rep to interact with the customer that we can reach our customer in a professional way. It's our medical reps who have to develop this ability to communicate effectively with the customer and to be able to meet their needs. And this is our number one qualitative objective, to reach our customers and to meet their needs and to outperform the competitors when it comes to having a customer focus. Our second objective is to upgrade the people's resource through Salesforce training and effectiveness. In this, I would like to mention one thing, that Salesforce is the absolute engine of our business. Our ultimate success begins and ends with what happens in the field every day. They need to be the best, most productive, and most efficient competitor out there every day. Our job is to get the tools for them to be successful and have the right team in place to be able to compete. But if we keep focusing on two basics in our company, that is people and products. If we do these two basics right, we don't have to worry too much about other things. if we get right people and access right products, we will find that many other things will fall our way. Now here I would like to take you to an analogy between people and potatoes. As you know, after being harvested, the potatoes are being spread and sorted out in order to earn the maximum market value. What is done is that these potatoes are divided according to size: big, medium, and then small. It's only after they have been sorted out and put in the bag that they are loaded onto the trucks. But in one state of USA, all the potato farmers used to adopt this method except one farmer. Finally, one puzzled neighbor asked this farmer, who used to earn maximum money by not using this method, that what is your secret? This farmer said that it's very simple. What I do is that I load all the potatoes in the wagon and then take the roughest road to the town. During this 7 or 8 mile trip to the town, what happens is that the small potatoes, they get settled at the lowest end of the wagon. The medium-sized potatoes, they land in the middle, and the big potatoes, they reach the top. This is also the rule of the law. This is also the life of the law, which means that big potatoes rise to the top on a rough road. Similarly, tough people rise to the top in rough times. And our objective is to have quality tough people with us so that they rise to the top in rough times. And this is what we anticipate, because the market is extremely ruthless and competitive. And this is our objective for the people, is that we will ensure that we have tough quality people with us so that they can rise to the top in rough times. Our next objective, can we have the next slide, is the interface increase between marketing and sales. What does that mean? That means that the people in the marketing, including myself, including all the other marketing people, they would be having greater interaction with the sales people. We will be out there in the field working with you day in and day out. We will be feeling the pulse of the market through you, because you are our eyes and ears. And through you, we will be having the feedback of our strategies and modifying our strategy in light of your recommendations, in the light of what we observe practically in the field. And through this interaction, we will be able to have a greater excellence in our marketing strategies, and we will be also close to where the action is taking place. Our next objective is job rotation. The idea is to swap people in different positions so that we can help them enrich their jobs and also develop a sense of empathy in their position. For example, a product manager, it's very difficult for him to realize what problems are being faced by the people in sales practically. And similarly, the people in the sales cannot realize and appreciate the problems being faced by the people in product management. So our objective is, on a very selective basis, to swap people. What we would do is that we would put product management into sales management position for a period of 6 months to 1 year, and vice versa, a person from sales management after selected through a process, would be put into a product management position, so that we can develop people, we can enrich people, and we can also develop a sense of empathy between two functions, right? And this would also be holding true for the other functions like global supply, where we might find some person who is very good in marketing and vice versa, wherever it's practically applicable. We now also have an objective of developing a website of Pharmacia, and also an email address data of the doctor population. Once we have that with us, we will be able to access these customers through latest information by using the high tech. And let me tell you that we will also be supporting those reps who are having these internet facilities in order to serve their customers better. So we will also be developing a mechanism in order to financially support those people who already have internet facilities, and also encourage those who want to go into this area. Our next objective is to develop a speaker program which has a multiplier effect. What do I mean by a multiplier effect? A speaker could be a speaker which is very good, who is a very good communicator, who is a very strong advocate of our product, but he might not have a cross professional acceptability or credibility. So what we would do is that we would develop speakers from a two-point standpoint. But one is to be a strong advocate of our product, and the other is that he must have a very strong following in the medical profession, because if he starts speaking in our favor, it would have a multiplier effect because of his credibility across the medical profession. Our next point is, the next objective is institutional sales. It's almost a virgin field. We have decided to encroach upon this field in order to get maximum ROI from an institutional potential. It doesn't mean that it was completely virgin, but in some of the areas like small institutions, we were not that focused. So our objective would be to have an institutional objective at each and every territory level, at each and every district level, at each and every divisional manager level, and also at the global level. And for this, we will also be providing you the support of an exclusively dedicated institutional supervisor. And I hope that by cashing on this opportunity, we would be able to add more value to our total sales in year 2001. The last point on this slide is mailing to non-contactable doctors. By that I mean there are certain areas where it's extremely difficult in view of the resource constraint and in view of the logistics to reach these customers which are not contactable, but they are potential, they are qualified. And by that I mean that we have a chain of rural health centers and basic health centers spread out throughout Pakistan. What we have done is that we have got a list of these rural health centers and basic health centers, and we would be mailing to these centers our products which have the potential, the OTC potential, like multivitamins, like NSAIDs, like citracin, and these products, so that when we mail these products, we have two objectives in mind. We generate the awareness of our products across this population, which is not being contacted by any other industry, any other company in the pharma industry. So we will be a pioneer in that. The second non-contactable list is that we have gotten hold of a list of population planning centers and reproductive health centers, जिसको उर्दू में बड़ा मुश्किल लफ्ज़ है। वो कहते हैं कि अफजाइश नस्ल मज़हब तौलीदी, पता नहीं कोई इस तरह का लफ्ज़ है। So we will be covering these centers also by mailing to them, and they also have their centers in the DHP hospitals, in major hospitals, and also in rural areas. So we will also be mailing to them, and as well as calling on them where we have qualified persons sitting in those centers in the main headquarter towns. And through this, we will be able to generate a lot of awareness of our powders there. My next objective is that we'll be launching, you see, in order to maintain and sustain your growth with an old product portfolio, it's extremely essential that we also have access to new products. And I'm pleased to tell you that we are going to launch 2 new products, Peptidil Gel for cervical ripening and Detusitol for overactive bladder in the year 2001. And Peptidil Gel, as you know, would be handled by Dr. Tariq and Detusitol by Dr. Faz. The next is the product portfolio, which we have already done. You must be aware of that. But the objective is to maximize these efforts in order to build a greater focus, in order to build synergies, in order to attain cost effectiveness, and also to avoid duplication of efforts. Because one rep was going to a dentist for detailing NSAID, and the other rep was going to a dentist again for detailing Dalacin. One rep was going to a gynecologist for detailing Prostin E2, and the other rep was going to the gynecologist again to detail Dalacin B cream. So what we have thought about it, it's better to have a one window operation, a one package, a one rep package for one doctor, because the package is only consisting of 2 or 3 powders. So that's way we are able to harness our energies, and by cashing upon the concept of cost effectiveness as well as synergies. We also have the objective of a greater interaction between MSMs and field force for project working. We would have a stylish interaction. That means that we would be utilizing the services of medical specialty managers in developing key opinion leaders. Up till now, what we have been doing is that we have been only utilizing their efforts in developing or maybe conducting the meetings, but not asking them for businesses. Because whatever activity we do, it must generate into business. Wherever we go, it must generate into business. So we would be asking the MSMs not only help us develop key opinion leaders, but also ask them for business as well. Now they will also be accountable for development and generation of business from these KOLs, right? And then as a result of the activity, and after analyzing the activity, we have thought that MSM's efforts are being put more towards conducting meeting of the street products, and less emphasis is being laid on conducting meeting of specialty products. So we are going to shift that emphasis from a street product meeting to more of that of a specialty product meetings. And lastly, we will be sharing with you 236 habits of effective salespeople, and we will be walking you through these habits with the assistance of our national sales manager, Mr. Iftihar Siddiqui, who will be walking you through these habits in pieces. So firstly, he will be walking you through 36 habits, and then later on a periodic basis, 50 habits each time, so that we all are able to pick up some of the nuggets, some of these good habits, and ingrain those habits into our culture, into our working, so that we become